like this, and it was an instinctual thing because I was 5. I don't know what I was doing. Yeah. But I've got scars all over the back of my head from they were trying to rip my throat out, essentially. And I remember every detail of this. So it's like having that traumatic of an experience at such an early age, and I'm fine with dogs also, like I'm cool with them, but having that traumatic of an experience,
I would never look at a dog again after that.
Well, it affects you in different ways, because I'm pretty sure that I have death anxiety, or I had for quite a long time, and I'm pretty sure that was triggered by that initial dog attack, because I was forced to deal with my own mortality at like very early age, and then not having any kind of pressure to believe a certain kind of afterlife or ideology when, 12 or 13 hit and I fully realized, like, I am mortal and I will die. That only fed into it. So I like to think, I have trouble thinking, like, my parents being as, normal as they are. They're very normal people. They like to go to concerts, they like to play sports and take ski vacations. It's like, they don't like to make things particularly. And I do, but I kind of wonder if that hadn't happened and triggered the anxiety and depression that's in me, would I be a more normal level person? Like, would I be like my brother and sister who did not have this happen to them? And honestly, anxiety and depression, they only run in my family, like, under stress. Like, my dad went through a depression when he was, like, in his 50s, because of, like, the job loss, 2008, whole big thing. He got, laid off after a 15-year career with the company. And I know, like, an aunt of mine had depression on and off occasionally, but the rest of my family, not a lick of it. Like, not even a drop of anxiety and depression. Yet I am just, like, rolling in the stuff.
I don't know how people, like, that seems, like, impossible to me that people don't have some anxiety on some level. I feel like
we should talk about it.
it.
It's not about it's not about that it doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. It's that the generation of our parents and that crowd didn't admit to that stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
that's not something that they would say. They would not tell people that stuff. Because, like, my dad's passed away, but I can guarantee you he should have been on some anxiety meds or depression meds hardcore.
Yeah.
Because, like, of all the things that he had ever said and the ups and downs of being like, I'm the saddest guy in the world, but you're the greatest. Yeah. You should be the best. Like that's the way I would always think of, like, the hard times and the stuff like that and how it would affect him, in that way. But that's just the way people are.
Yeah, it's true.
I was just going to mention the Robin Williams complex. I feel like that's the best way to describe that, because he brought so much joy to everybody else, but inside he was hurting beyond a considerable doubt. Yep. Like, he couldn't deal with stuff. And the more you think about it, the more it makes sense of, like, of course, because you don't want people to hurt as much as you. Fuck, I can't even have this conversation right now.
No. Yeah, earlier, I want to say, like, yesterday we were having this conversation about the idea that, like, we as performers put so much of ourselves out there and, like, try to feel and experience so much of what's going on that, like, it's almost natural for us to have something in the off time, have some sort of anxiety or depression in the off time, because we are just taking what we're going to offer and putting it out there so heartily and so intensely in these spurts that, of course, in the other moments, our reserves are low and we don't have the ability to experience those other things, because in the moment when the light hits us and someone told us that we're in the middle of a show, we're at top speed of like emotion and insanity, right?
It's like doing Molly.
And believing in yourself in a way that you never believe in yourself in a given day.
Oh, do
just
you
by
believe in yourself when you're on stage? Because I am riddled with self-doubt when I get on stage.
I think that's one of the only times where it's like, this is fine.
I think it just comes from pushing through it, though. That's where you, like, find it, is just...
I still, every time I get on stage, I'm like, well, this is the worst thing I've ever done.
I know, and you know what, Malia? I'm gonna be honest, like, one of my, like, current, like, life goals is trying to figure out how to convince you that that's incorrect. Like, like, no, not a joke. Like, and I don't know how it is or what'll happen or where we'll be or what sort of, like, maybe you and I need to do mushrooms together or something. But, like, legitimately, like, you don't know, maybe
you
not.
guys holding?
I have a very safe home and a safe life, you know? I'm just saying, like, it's, I'm just saying that, like, I think you're great. Okay. And I've thought you're great since the first moment I met you. And that's why I don't drag everybody kicking and screaming into this community, guys. I only drag the best people kicking and screaming into this community. There's a lot of people I let go. There's a lot of people you know who I let go.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I was like, no, this is the one. I'm taking her. And then dragged you through everything, brought you into everything I'm involved in because you're cool and you're great. And I haven't felt comfortable with anybody in fucking years. We were just having, okay, I'm sorry I'm bringing up Yamina, but I'm doing it. We were just talking to Yamina. And we've known each other forever. She was in class 5. I was in class 3. We don't know each other at all.
Yeah.
I know you 1,000 times better. I've had more experiences with you. I've had more like stuff because you're the kind of person that I want to do this kind of thing with.
Yeah.
And so like that in and of itself, there's a community of people that are like, oh my God, what you have gets the Jones in me going.
I agree with you, and I think that she is energy in a human form.
God damn it. I feel weird.
And
that's okay, feel it.
We're like two hangry dogs right now. You're just balling up.
It's the most bizarre thing to realize how great somebody is, and then at the same time realize that they don't think that about themselves.
I know, it kills
and just
me.
And just like, are you serious?
Well, I don't like.
Delia was easier to crack than you, Malia. Delia was easier to crack.
like I understand. I understand to an extent.
Sure.
It's so.
Being critical is never like a bad thing in small doses. You know, you never want to be like so full of yourself that you're making
real talk. You guys are gonna get mad at me for saying I think I am a terrible person. Like I've never really liked myself. I think that everything I do is shit, and that I like the decisions that I make are selfish and really dumb. No. And that I'm just a giant, dumb, idiot person, and I'm like, my head is on the table.
You're the first
staring at the
entertainer
table.
I've ever met that feels that way. You're the first person who...
He makes a good point. We all have ups and downs, but don't wallow in the down.
We're all just on cloud 9
It's
all
all
the
a
time.
down.
I wonder, though, if it has anything to do with the wanting to better other people around you and to better yourself, and you just never feel satisfied.
Maybe.
And so it's like, I'm never gonna be good enough. Which
I mean that is honestly that's a really good perspective, and that is very likely the case because I hold. Well, it's weird. It's a duality because I hold people to a high standard, but I also understand that everyone's a fucking moron.
Yes,
like like myself included. We're all fucking morons.
Sometimes I'm afraid that maybe it is Trump's America.
Well,
sometimes I'm afraid that
maybe
I'm the minority.
No,
that maybe really. It is Trump's America.
No,
and they're all horrible, racist, evil people. And maybe I'm just in the wrong country. But no. That's not the case because we have these tribes. Because we're together. Because we've got the ability and we've created this community. And I've kicked out all the dumb ones. And the good ones have stayed.
We're the rebellion.
And so
all the dumbs.
You know?
We're already in the basement. We're fucking ready.
Yeah.
It looks like the Communist Party. We're ready to fight.
Wolverines.
Oh man, I can do some fierce stuff with a blow dart gun, you guys. And I have
do with a hammer and a Dremel tool.
You've seen a lot of my shit.
I was up the other night thinking, like, what is that weird tool that Malia has?
Dremel tool?
Yeah.
I have a
Dremel. You like lathe?
Glass.
I do glass work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What? You do that too?
Yeah.
See, Okay, I don't understand how a person with so much talent and knowledge and ability and experience and excitement can think that they're a piece of shit.
Yeah, no, if you hate yourself...
If you hate yourself and that's going to make you do more traveling and fun stuff, then go ahead, hate yourself.
I almost wanted to say that
myself.
too.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what's going to motivate you to go to, like, every country in the world and do 1,000 things, then, hey, hate yourself. I'll just hang out as your friend and keep letting you do the
Whatever
stuff.
puts you up there, you know?
Yeah.
Wait.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Do it.
I have to go to bed.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely...
what fucking
we're
time is
2
it?
hours in.
Yeah,
Jesus!
that's why I'm like we should write. Like, I don't want to keep saying stuff.
No, I love you all.
No, we
and
ran
this
long,
is
and
great.
this is great. Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Give me...
We hit 2 hours.
Shit.
We hit
Yeah,
2
we hit
hours.
2 hours.
That's awesome.
Give me the opportunity and we'll talk till I
Oh,
Okay.
wait,
don't
last
have
thing
breath
that I wanted
anymore.
to say, by the way, because
Yeah.
I felt like it was super kismet, actually. The first ever place where I ever did comedy ever in my whole life was a place called the Collective Unconscious. And I just thought that was super fun. It was on the Lower East Side of New York City, and it was the first place I ever went and did comedy. Ever.
That's tits.
So it as soon as you started talking about that kind of stuff, I was all like, dude, yeah, my whole life, for sure.
That's great.
Also, if you want to start a Doctor Who podcast, like
really? You guys should.
I've got hours.
Could it be?
Hours.
No, I'm
of
sure this already
opinions.
exists.
Oh, it does, but we could do something.
That doesn't mean you can't do.
No.
Like-
I just mean like naming it like Doctor Who. But I'm
Come
sure that,
No.
Yeah, you'd have to look up all of them and make sure that you had a cleverer name than
Dr.
Yeah.
What?
them.
Dr. What?
Doctor what?
I think it should be commentary on the episodes I haven't watched. Like, we'll watch it together.
Yeah.
And then you knowing, and then I'll be like, what the fuck is... No! I'm a good reactor.
I'm
That's really funny.
I'm done. No, I'm
because-
serious. I have so many hard opinions about Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I don't have hard opinions about politics. I could care less about politics. I have hard opinions.
You know what you guys
about
should
Doctor
do?
Who.
There was this Twitter that I used to follow where we watched movies. Like the idea was that on Mondays at 9 p.m. everyone would go to Netflix and turn on the same movie, and then we'd all live tweet them.
Nice.
But wouldn't it be fun if you guys watched Doctor Who but with headphones on? So like the audience can't hear the Doctor Who, but they hear you guys going like, "What's this? What's happening right now?" So the idea is when you listen to your podcast, they turn the show on and they watch it with
So
your
you're sitting there,
commentary
very much like
underneath.
riff tracks or
DVD
something
commentary.
like that.
Yeah.
This
No, I
sounds
like
like
it.
a
Let's do
pretty good side piece,
No,
if I
I'm
do say
so
so
down.
myself.
Dilly wants to leave. Do we do an
Yeah,
ending?
Dilly's got a real job.
Do we an
No, we
end or
normally just
anything?
drift out.
goodbye. Thanks for listening to the Yes for Why podcast.